Good evening and welcome to EBTV's production of East Brunswick High School Athletics. Tonight, football against the Barons of Woodbridge. Hi, I'm Ken Saroka along with Rich Whalen. And Rich, last week, playing against the Hawks, J.P. Stevens, the score did not really indicate the game.
Yeah, East Brunswick struggled in the first half against a J.P. Stevens team who didn't have their star quarterback. They were only up 7-0 after the first half. Had 3 turnovers in the first half, and then were able to kind of right the ship in the second half and came out with the 35-0 win. But they don't want to do that tonight against this Woodbridge team.
You said turnovers is a big factor in that rather low-scoring first half. The second half was a different story.
Yeah, second half they kind of put it together. East Brunswick has shown a lot of consistency. They have a lot of players that have been contributing. Jared Lynch has been a big contributor. I think he has 5 touchdowns on the year. They have a new quarterback for Maratucci, Mike Sy, who's running the ball a lot. I was looking at their stats. They have 5 guys that have run the ball 25 times, East Brunswick. So they're really, you can't key on one person. They're going to need everyone to kind of, a team effort to be in this game against Woodbridge.
And Woodbridge is always a tough opponent here, so we're not expecting the same 35-0 score. What do the Bears have to do, aside from managing the ball and hanging on to it a little better?
Yeah, Woodbridge has a good quarterback, Kyle Anderson. He's back after last year. Woodbridge started off last year poorly. East Brunswick beat him pretty good, but since about the midway point of last year, Woodbridge has been one of the better teams in the county. They're coming off a tough loss to Piscataway, but they have a couple Division I players on their team, and they have a good quarterback. They have a couple good running backs, and you can't just look at them running the ball or passing the ball. They do a little bit of both, so it's going to be a tough game for East Brunswick tonight.
One of the concerns going into today was the weather conditions here with the East Coast being flooded. We got lucky, I guess, with the light rains we had compared to some places. But we're standing here on the field, this new field turf field here, and it's in excellent shape. So that should not be a factor in tonight's game.
No, I don't think so. And, if anything, I think it might help East Brunswick a little bit, even if the field's in, where it's a little slippery, just because I think Woodbridge might have a few more weapons than East Brunswick. So, East Brunswick's really got to control the ball today, keep Woodbridge offense off the field. So I think if anyone, it helps them a little bit. But like you said, I think the turf's in pretty good shape.
Weather was also a factor in the last attempted EBTV broadcast 2 weeks ago, as a storm that moved through here about 4 o'clock in the afternoon knocked out power and forced actually the football game to be played on the practice field, which is not that far from here. But we'll be back with the first half kickoff in just a moment. The 2-1 East Brunswick Bears hosting the 2-1 Woodbridge Barons on what is turned out to be a beautiful night for football here at Jade Oil Field. I'm Ken Saroka along with Richie Whalen, bringing you all the action on EBTV. Bears wearing their white and green pants, with Woodbridge wearing red with black. You might see the heart-shaped balloons and the coaches wearing red hats. This is Heart Awareness Day, sponsored by St. Peter's Hospital. Commemorates the lives of 2 athletes here, Edison football star Katim Sherrod and former South Brunswick student athlete Brandon James, who died 8 months apart during athletic competition. Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM, is the cause, and that's why it's bringing attention to that today here and across the schools playing in the GMC conference. East Brunswick will be kicking off left to right on your screen. Woodbridge receiving. Kicking is Augusto Silva. And our first broadcast on EBTV for the season is underway. A line drive squibber kick makes it all the way back to the end zone, where it is a dead ball.
Right, that's a little different rule than folks that are watching in college or the NFL. Once, like you said, Ken, once it gets in the end zone, it's a dead ball. You can't return it even if you wanted to.
And Woodbridge will break their huddle. Kyle Anderson, the quarterback for Woodbridge, under center. Deep pitch. And brought down at the 24-yard line is Devin Hairston.
And number 5, Jared Lynch, made the tackle. We'll see him also on offense for East Brunswick. He's the free safety for East Brunswick on defense.
2nd down and 6, ball on the 24. Quick handoff inside. And ball's on the ground. We have a fumble already and picked up by East Brunswick.
And there was a host of Bears there, a couple. I couldn't quite see the number who jarred that ball loose, but East Brunswick is going to have good field position here, and then that's a big play to start this game.
When we were out there on the turf for the pregame, it does have a bit of a sheen on it, and if that ball is a little slick, it could be difficult to hold. But the Bears now will take over on the Woodbridge 27-yard line. Mike Sy, number 4, quarterbacking for the Bears. On the option, runs around the outside, has the 20, gets inside the 20, but the ball is down. Ball came out there at the end, but the ground cannot cause a fumble.
Looks like Mike Sy's a little banged up on that. He did a really nice job there of selling the dive to the fullback, and Woodbridge kind of lost sight of him, picked up about 8 yards there.
Well, they're going to mark him down at the 19, so yes, 8-yard pickup. 2nd and a long 2.
Just to go through the starting lineup here for East Brunswick. Offensive line, Jack Young's the center. Number 52, Joe Quagliere, is a guard. Jim Mullins, the other guard. Rich Williams, number 67, is one tackle, and then Kyle McSpedden is the other tackle.
East Brunswick stacking the short side of the field there. Inside handoff, though. Oh, no, Sy kept it. Tries to wiggle out and gets perhaps a yard, maybe. But that play did not materialize.
No, that might have been one he might have wanted to give to the fullback there. Looks like he might have had some yards, so.
They're actually going to mark it at the 20, so a loss of 1 on the play. Being up a 3rd down now, and definitely a longer 2.5, call it 3.
And East Brunswick's going to have to convert these short 3rd downs. You know, they want to keep Woodbridge offense off the field. So this is a big down, and this might be, they don't have the Tyler Janchuk as a field goal kicker, so this might even be something they go for if they don't make it here.
Wishbone backfield. Now we have a penalty.
Okay, and we see the head referee here, Tom Maroney, saying delay a game. You hate those penalties. There's really no excuse for that. It goes from a manageable 3rd down and 3 to now a 3rd and 8. That's a little bit different play call here for Coach Borden on what to run here. I know in the past, Coach Borden kind of likes to roll his quarterback out and give him the run option to run or pass.
Inside, that quick hitter opened up nicely, and Mike Sy completes the pass to Nick Gudzak. Or was that? No,
yep, you're right.
It was Gudzak, okay. And that results in a nice pickup to the 10-yard line, 15-yard gain and a 1st down just outside the 10. So it's 1st and 10.
Yeah, though they can get a 1st down, but it will have to be inside the 1. The thing I like about that play, they fake the run, get the linebackers to move up a little bit, and then it's a quick strike. So you don't really need to have protection for that long. So nice call there.
Full house backfield for the Bears. The handoff to Lynch, trying to dance around. Breaks one tackle, reverses the field direction, has the outside, now tries to cut it back inside, and will get down to about the 3. That play looked like it was going to get blown up for a loss.
Ran about 30 yards to gain 6 yards, but that was a nice job by Lynch. Woodbridge did a nice job on their right side of the line to get penetration, and The thing I liked also with East Brunswick, a lot of the offense on the right side didn't give up and continued to block to give Lynch some room there.
And also block without taking a holding penalty.
Exactly.
Straight inside handoff up the gut to Joshua Todd. That play results in no gain. Third down and a 4. Would you think we're in 2-down territory here?
I think so. I think, you know, I'm always big when you're this close, especially high school football. You know, I don't know how this year with East Brunswick how their kicker is, but I think you are this close. I think you might need touchdowns to win this game.
And that ball came out as Mike Sy was heading toward the goal line, popped out, but Jared Lynch was there to pick it up. Already we've seen the ball squirt loose several times.
And he would have been close to that first down where Mike Sy was, but the ball popped out and went backwards about 2 yards. So
ball's going to be spotted at the 2, and so this is a 4th down. Again, the Bears could get a first down if they get just inside the 1.
And if I were East Brunswick here, I would maybe, you know, toss it to the wide side of the field to Jared Lynch. But it looks like Borden might take a delay game here or call a timeout right before. I guess he's going to probably take a timeout and talk it over. Does he want a measurement? Is that what he's asking for?
Well, I guess we're going to have a timeout after all. All right, a timeout it is. This game will be rebroadcast on EBTV. Additionally, on the 10th of October at 4 p.m. and on the 13th of October at 9 p.m. It is also available online, on demand, pretty much anytime you want to watch this game. If you missed the game, you can log on to www.ebtv3.org and click on Video on Demand and select EBHS Sports and select the games that you want to watch.
And just reading the little pamphlet that the Bears send out before each game for the fans, just looking, two players on this Woodbridge defense are playing Division I football next year. They have the DN Max Isaka, who's going to Pitt, and then another linebacker, Praise Martin Uguke, who will attend Temple.
Right side, hands off, and finding a hole off the right side is Julian Quinton for the Bears touchdown.
And I like that call as well. I would have given it to either Lynch or Quinton there. He's actually, this is only his second game back off of injury, and he's a big boy. They have him listed here at 5'10", 190. I'm probably a little closer to 200 pounds, I would say.
The extra point is on its way and is good. Augusto Silva converts the extra point. Our score, East Brunswick 7, Woodbridge 0.
And I don't mind that timeout too much by Coach Borden. I don't mind timeouts too much in the first half especially. And you got to feel better taking the timeout and then scoring on that. That's a big play there for East Brunswick. You get an early lead, get a little confidence. But like you were talking about, Ken, one thing we might want to keep an eye on, I think we saw the 2 fumbles so far. East Brunswick was able to recover the Woodbridge fumble and recover their own. And then there was another ball on the ground that they had said Mike Sy was down already. So that's going to be something to watch here.
Devin Hairston is back deep for the Barons to receive the kick from Augusto Silva. And once again, a squibber bouncing around. Picked up on one hop and a deflection by Harrison, who brings it out to the 26, where the Barons will take over, 1st and 10.
And I think especially in high school football, anytime you can pin your opponent on the kickoff inside the 30, that's a good job. So first time East Brunswick was able to get a touchback, and this time on the about 26-yard line. So that's a good job by the special team so far for East Brunswick.
Kyle Anderson under center. Handoff deep. And that's taken down for maybe a 2-yard gain, 3-yard gain.
That looked like number 34, Isaiah Johnson for Woodbridge. And a couple of East Brunswick players on the tackle there, including number 23, Rich Ura, a junior defensive back.
Barely a yard, if anything, there. Anderson. Handoff inside goes nowhere. Loss on the play.
Jake Wojciech, their defensive end for East Brunswick, was on the other side, but did a good job of going down the line and getting a piece of him.
Daquan Bailey loses yards, so it's now 3rd down and 11.
I think Coach Russo for Woodbridge might be a little surprised. They're really, the Bears defensive line is doing a nice job against the offensive line here. Woodbridge getting good penetration.
Anderson drops back, looking down the field. Has a man complete on the far sideline here, or close sideline to us, but across the field for Anderson. This one's going to be kind of close to see where his momentum took him down. They're going to mark it at the 437, so looks like he'll have enough for the 1st down.
Yep, he'll have it by about a yard.
That pass to Quasi Opoku.
And I think you're going to, maybe as the night goes on here, see Woodbridge do this a little bit more.
The inside handoff to Bailey. And that was the play that got Woodbridge in trouble in the first possession, is that parallel running to the across the line, and the Bears got penetration on that play to force a fumble. Here they get penetration to hold to a 2 or 3 yard gain.
Looked like number 69, Millen Colehelp, with the tackle there, and Jared Lynch finished him off.
Poku is split to the near side of screen, but this is a quick flanker screen. And to Anthony Nyers. And Woodbridge does have an advantage there. They're both those receivers, Nyers and Opoku, are both listed as 6'2".
And they're quick as well. And I love that play, you know, at all levels. If the defensive back is, you know, like East Brunswick was, about 7 or 8 yards off the line, just throwing that quick hitch and letting them make a play.
Ball on the 47, Woodbridge 1st down. The pitch to Bailey, and Bailey's having trouble. This is the 3rd time he's slipped. And again, the field might have a bit of a sheen, particularly in areas where the players weren't practicing before the game.
Yeah, you could see on that one, especially his footing. He just couldn't make the cut that he wanted. And my thing always, not that you can't run to the short side, but, you know, with that play, why not, you know, maybe the right side of their line's a little better. They want to run that side, but why not run that to the wide side of the field?
Inside handoff that time, a little misdirection play. That'll bring them across midfield. Now we're into Bears territory. Ball will be spotted just inside the 50. 3rd down and a long 8.
I'd like to see East Brunswick bring a little pressure here, not give Anderson time.
Anderson straight drop, quick pitch, and caught, brought down as praise Martin Oguike held on to that.
Yeah,
That
heck of a catch,
heck of a
right?
catch, yeah.
Now, if I was Woodbridge here, they've been kind of running mostly on first and second down and waiting to throw on third down. I think this is a good time to take a shot down the field.
Anderson is 3 for 3 on his passes on this drive. Deep handoff. Hairston gets down to about the 31-yard line. Gain of about 6.
Looked like Nick Goodzak on the tackle there.
And the Bears not getting that kind of penetration off, through the offensive line here. They're not getting there. 2nd and 4. And that just what we were saying about not getting penetration through the line. Isaiah Johnson gets blown up in the backfield by a surge of Bear defense.
Yeah, it looked like number 62, Joe Quagliare, and number 78, Sean Garrett there. Both got in there like bullets.
Loss of 1. And a 3rd down and about now 5. Ball is at the 32. Again, probably 2-down territory for the Barons, as this would be an extremely long field goal. Anderson drops back. Rolling, looking downfield. He's hit. Now, whether or not that's going to be called a fumble or an incomplete pass, the umpire calls it an incomplete pass.
Coach Boren's mad, but I actually agree with that. It looked like his arm was going forward, and nice play there by Jared Lynch. It's always tough for a righty quarterback. You're rolling out to your left to make that throw, and Lynch was right on top of him. So Woodbridge looks like they're going to go for it here.
Fourth down and 6.
They got single coverage down on the bottom with Anthony Nyers. They might look to do something there.
One back in the backfield. Now East Brunswick blitzes Anderson. Anderson looking downfield, heaves it in the middle in the direction of no one, as his wide receiver had run a fly pattern and was prone on the ground at about the 10-yard line because he slipped. And the Bears will take over on down. 2nd turnover for Woodbridge.
Guess the only, right, sorry, Ken. I guess the only decent thing there was they did switch the field position a little bit.
Bears had the advantage their first possession of being down deep within Baron territory. Now they take over on their own 31-yard line, 32, okay. Sy, hands off. And that handoff to number 31.
That's Julian Quinton. I'll tell you, if you watch that play, number 22 for Woodbridge, Devin Hairston did exactly what you want to do. He sealed the edge and then came off the block and made a really nice tackle. So really nice job doing his job there, not letting Quinton bounce to the outside and then able to make the tackle. So nice play by him.
And we have to see if the Bears have the same kind of difficulties running in areas of the field, especially laterally, and then trying to cut upfield, and whether or not this field is slick. Lynch did slip. If you notice that little shuffle when he first got the handoff, but did manage to regain his balance and gets the ball out to about the 39-yard line.
And that's going to be the last play of the first quarter there. If you're East Brunswick, got to be happy. Converted a turnover for a score, and East Brunswick has a 7-0 lead here with the ball.
And if you notice in the pictures here, the East Brunswick coaching staff wearing red hats today. This is in conjunction with St. Peter's Healthcare System to combat the silent killer, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. A couple of GMC athletes died last year in athletic competition with this silent killer, and the St. Peter's Healthcare System sponsoring all throughout the GMC this weekend these heart helmets for hearts to raise awareness, and you see also the heart balloons there as well.
Also, while we have some time here between quarters, just to congratulate some EP Players of the Month for different sports. Cheerleader for this month was Shania Guadalupe. Boys cross country, Sam Frost. The Player of the Month for girls cross country was Bianca Nefoim. Field hockey, Jessica Ferdinand. Football, number 5, Jared Lynch, who's had a nice game so far for the Bears. Nicole Rosano was for gymnastics. Boys soccer, Brandon Yu. Girls soccer, Christina Estremera. Girls tennis, Marina Sai. And girls volleyball, who's also one of the Bears basketball players, Catherine Caruso. So congratulations to those players, and also I know a lot of successful teams that I mentioned as well having a good fall season for the Bears.
3rd down and 3, ball on the 39-yard line. Bears have to get to the 42. Now moving right to left on your television screen. Inside handoff and busting it right up through and getting almost to midfield is number 39, Joshua Todd. And the ability to have that fullback who can keep defenses honest by running straight up the gut.
Yeah, definitely. You need that. And I had mentioned earlier in the pregame, East Brunswick's had a lot of consistency. Like I had said, I think 4 players have had 25 or more carries, and Julian Quinnen will get up there. He's only had 5 or 6, but this is only his 2nd game back.
Mike Sy keeps it, runs around the outside, looking for blocks downfield. Does manage to get to about the 41-yard line where he's brought down. It's going to be close to the first down. We'll see what the spot is.
And Coach Boren talking to him. I think he might be talking to him also. He's holding that ball in one hand. He's just got to be careful as the defense starts to come up to him. Make sure that he gets 2 hands on the ball and is careful. But if you look at number 4 here, Mike Sy, he's replacing, one of the better quarterbacks in East Brunswick's history in Mauro Tucci, and he's just doing a nice, consistent job. He's not the quickest guy, but he's making some good reads. He's making good decisions. He's tough. So, he's doing exactly what the Bears need of him.
Again, wow, Mike Sy, again, that had me fooled. I was looking inside at Joshua Todd, and Sy kept it and brought it down to the 37.
And another good read, as you said, by Mike Sy. And East Brunswick will take that 5 yards on that play.
Sy, the junior quarterback.
And East Brunswick's doing what they probably talked about in the locker room. They're keeping that Woodbridge offense off the field.
A little movement there on the defensive front. Lynch stutter steps, dances around. One gets inside the 35, down to the 33. That play could have easily resulted in a loss, but Lynch sidestepped some pressure.
Yeah, and then had one-on-one with number 24, Daquan Bailey, and he was able just to hold on to one leg until a couple of his teammates were able to corral Lynch. So here we go again. This is another, one of those 3rd and short that's, for both teams important, but also for East Brunswick here. And, you're on the area of the field again where even if you don't make it, you got to seriously consider going for it anyway.
Give it about 2 yards to go. Full house backfield here for the Bears. Sy keeps it, tucks it back in, and gets dropped for a loss. And perhaps there, you were talking about 2 down territory, perhaps there would have been a better time to play fake and try to throw downfield, because it seemed like Woodbridge knew that was coming.
Right. And I don't really, so far East Brunswick hasn't really too much done that misdirection play. I think not that you want to do it right here, but if you have a reverse or something where you just get the defense going one way, that could be pretty effective here.
4th down for the Bears. Pretty much in the same spot almost where Woodbridge was last quarter. Now we have a penalty, and looks like there was some movement. Or no, Coach Borden decided to call a timeout right before. And he probably didn't like what he saw there, but
yeah, you never know. He maybe saw something with the Woodbridge defense where just a play he called might not have been successful. Maybe he wants to think it over again.
Bears again coming into play today with a 2-1 record after last week's 35-0 pasting of the Hawks of JP Stevens.
Yeah, and East Brunswick will, after this game, will have a week off, and then they will be at Howell, who I would think, they had a very good year last year, probably has a good team as well. And then just a brutal schedule. They'll be here at Sayreville, who's been very impressive so far, at Piscataway, who's, always good, and then home against South Brunswick, who's, a decent team, and then at Woodbridge. So the schedule doesn't get any easier here for East Brunswick.
Yeah, Piscataway and Sayreville both ranked by the papers in New Jersey in the top 20. Okay, 4th down and 2 now.
Give me something.
Different look here for the Bears on this setup.
Maybe look for Goodzak here, the tight end.
Hard count by Cy. Inside handoff, Jared Lynch dances through, breaks one tackle, gets down to the 20, picks up 11, and a 1st down for the Bears.
Yeah, that's now the second time East Brunswick on a 4th down just kind of said that we're going right at you, and we're able to get a good job. And let's give some credit there to the offensive line on both 4th down conversions, because they definitely came off the ball and gave both Quinnen on the touchdown and Lynch some room to run. So they sometimes go unnoticed, but doing a nice job.
Single setback behind Cy. Now Jared Lynch in motion. Delay handoff inside to Todd. Gets maybe inside the 20-yard line, pickup of 1, and it'll be a 2nd down and 9.
If you're Coach Borden, it's early, but and the East Brunswick staff, this is exactly probably how you envision the game. You get a turnover, you convert, you're just running the clock down, you're converting on 4th downs a couple of times. You had one fumble, but you recovered it. You're doing exactly what you need to do right now.
This drive began in the 1st quarter, and here we are. We've now almost gone 5 minutes into the 2nd quarter. Quick snap and a count there. Pitch to Lynch. Lynch looking for some blockers on the outside. Gets grabbed by the jersey and gets pulled out of bounds. Referee's going to mark it at the 17-yard line. So we're going to brings up a 3rd and 6. And again, I don't know the kicking game here. We don't have Tyler Janchik back there kicking field goals, but right now that would be a 33-yard attempt. Lynch in motion, side drops back to pass. Lateral pass to Lynch behind the backfield, gets to the 15, but that's it. I thought he was going to throw it. I thought that he was going to take that lateral and throw it, but.
And they are coming out with the field goal unit. I see number 98 for East Brunswick, Augusta Silva. And the one thing kind of against him, the one good thing here, high school football with the hash, is the ball is in the middle, which makes it a little bit easier. But the wind is, if you look at the flags, both on the posts and the flags back there, kind of in his face a little bit.
This will be a 32-yard attempt. The spot, the hole, the kick is away.
Looks good.
But wide.
Short.
No, a little short. Oh, the wind knocked that one down. Yeah, that's where it got up there and it drifted and the wind knocked it down.
Well, I'll tell you, Coach Borden always has faith in his kickers. He'll try field goals when sometimes you think maybe he shouldn't. And, I think that one looked good, except maybe the wind was a little bit stronger, because it looked good to me for a minute. I was thinking it was through, and then just right before it got to the crossbar, just a little bit short.
Woodbridge takes over on the 20, 1st and 10. Anderson drops back, now has an outlet here on the close sideline, breaks one tackle, breaks a second tackle, and Anthony Nyers picks up the pass from Anderson and gets across to the 37, a gain of 17 on the play.
Yeah, East Brunswick not good right there defensively. A couple missed tackles. Number 23, Rich Ura, kind of had outside containment and let Anderson get to the outside there. And if you're Woodbridge, I think you got to kind of throw the ball a little bit more. I think they got some good athletes that they can get the ball to here.
Again, inside handoff. That goes to the fullback, Jeffrey Rodriguez. Rodriguez stopped for no gain.
Good job there by the East Brunswick defensive line.
You're right. Woodbridge may be seeming a little too predictable here, running on first down. Their average on the first down plays is probably somewhere around 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, not too good so far.
Single back, Rodriguez behind Anderson. Quick flanker screen. Nyers. Okay, that a little better, tighter defense there on the outside by the Bears.
Yeah, if you're gonna be a little bit off, you got to make sure that once that throw is made, that little hitch throw, that you come up and tackle. And East Brunswick did a great job there. So this is a 3rd and 6 for the Barons.
Ball just over the 41-yard line. They have to get to the 47. So 5.5 or so yards to go here. Anderson, single setback behind him. Man in motion, inside handoff. That's Daquan Bailey, and he's stopped, and that'll bring up a 4th down. And the punting team will come on for the Barons.
Number 16, Nick Goodzak, as well, with a couple other people on the tackle. And nice job by East Brunswick. A little counter by Woodbridge, and people stayed home. They did their job. They didn't over-pursue. And
here we go. They're going for it on 4th down.
They might be just dropped. There's move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, kind of hopefully draw off the East Brunswick defenders. Jared Lynch is deep for the Bears, and that punt goes sailing over his head and out of bounds. And the officials will have to...
I'd say around the 15.
Yep. Yeah, they're still trying to mark it off where it is. Gonna call it outside the 20, which is the 21-yard line. So Woodbridge with 3 offensive possessions. 1 resulted in a fumble and a turnover. 1 a turnover on downs. And the 3rd, only 1 first down, and the Bears stop and get possession on the punt. With 3:36 left to go and 1 timeout for the Bears. Got to go 79 yards. Quinton busted through, gets through to the linebackers into the secondary, gets out to the 28-yard line. Julian Quinton, the senior.
And someone for Woodbridge took a pretty good hit there and went backwards.
Second and 4.
Woodbridge would like to maybe get a stop here to try to get one more shot.
Lynch gets the pitch, trying to string it out, looking for some room on the outside. Does break it to the secondary. Makes another man miss. Gets across midfield and gets to the 48 of Woodbridge. Tackling there, Woodbridge looked very tentative.
Yeah, number 9, Anthony Myers, I know he's a good player for Woodbridge, kind of looked very tentative there. Didn't look like he wanted to hit someone. Is there a flag on the play?
Yeah, it looks like there is a flag.
And that's usually a hold.
31. Got it. Got holding against East Brunswick. Be accepted.
Okay, we heard Tom Maroney there holding on East Brunswick, so that negates
Well, you wonder why that hole opened up. 31, they call that one on Julian Quinton. And now here's where you might see Woodbridge, if they are successful in stopping the Bears here on second and third down, use their timeouts to preserve clock and hopefully get possession somewhere perhaps around midfield. Inside handoff. That's Josh Todd. Gets it to the 30.
And Brian Russo will take the timeout. He was kind of looking at where the ball was, and you like to have a little bit longer of a third down there. But, you know, if Woodbridge does stop him here, they can call another timeout, and we'll have over 2 minutes left.
One of the things about that penalty was the holding was downfield.
Right.
So 10 yards from the spot of the infraction, not 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. So the Bears now looking at a 3rd down and 2. Again, a beautiful night here finally after the rains we had, and we did luck out compared to some other places when it comes to rain. You look at some of the stories from the Carolinas and Virginia and even parts of Pennsylvania like Lancaster and Allentown got 10 inches of rain. This field, although it did take a lot of rain, it's one of those new field turf fields that drains very well. We were surprised walking on it how you know, you didn't have any puddles. You didn't have. So we're able to play tonight. Big 3rd down and 2 here. Bears keep the drive alive. And try to march it down. Inside handoff to Todd, and Todd breaks it out to the 35, and that will be a Bears 1st down.
And there's a lot of confusion with Woodbridge. I was, you know, I wanted to check out number 2. I was just focused on him the whole time. Praise Martin Aguke, who's one of the players that is going to Temple, and he tackled the wrong guy. He thought one of the backs for East Brunswick had the ball. So there's some confusion with Woodbridge here a little bit.
John Farkas splits out to the top of your screen. Hand off to Lynch. He's looking for some room there. And Woodbridge didn't buy any of the fakes as Woodbridge was able to tackle Lynch for maybe a 2 or perhaps 3-yard gain, but that's it.
You see East Brunswick is in no rush here. They're going to take as much time off the play clock as they can.
But you have to be aware, you only have 1 timeout. And although you get the break on the movement of the chains, the temporary stoppage there's no 2-minute warning, and now we're down to 1 minute and 30, and the Bears still have 62 yards to pay dirt. Inside handoff. Lynch drives forward to the 45. Looks close enough for a 1st down. Looks like he will give him a 1st down.
And now East Brunswick, you know, before they're more looking to run the clock down. Now you're in pretty good field position here. Now, like you were talking about, you need to pick up the pace a little bit. I would have said before when they were on near their own 20 to kind of sit on it, but now I'd have a little more urgency here. You don't want to make a mistake, but you're in pretty good field position here.
Lynch, the deep back in the I formation set, gets the pitch, and coming up and sensing that one, linebacker Ray Urbanski for the Barons.
And just by East Brunswick here just looks kind of content, and Woodbridge isn't. Woodbridge will call a timeout.
I wouldn't want. Why?
Yeah.
Why? You at best you're going to get. You have to stop them twice, and then you have the punt.
Now, at this point, I wouldn't, because now it's 2nd down. You burn your 2nd timeout. You burn it one more time. If East Brunswick wants, the clock will run out anyway. If anything, it kind of gives Coach Bourne a little time to think, and maybe, you know what, if they're going to call this timeout, maybe he's a little more aggressive. But you never know, I guess, what can happen, though. If, you know, I was watching
you would want to take advantage of it. You have the 2nd half kickoff. If you score here and then take that opening drive in the second half and bring it down and put more points on the board, now you make it a 3-score game before Woodbridge even touches the ball in the second half. So I want to see if Coach Borden's going to take some shots downfield. Cy's only attempted one pass, and that was a completion, a kind of quick hitter over the middle to Nick Gudzak. And Farkas and Gudzak are at the top of the screen, so maybe that's what you're going to see here. Lynch gets the handoff, looking for some blocking around the outside. Gets out to the 46. And this time East Brunswick's going to call a timeout.
I think maybe number 74 for East Brunswick, Jim Mullen, might have got away with a hold there. Looked like he was holding, but didn't call. A good run there by Lynch. Well, I believe Woodbridge has one timeout left?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you figure if East Brunswick does call the timeout here, I mean, I guess you think a couple things. Maybe, you might try something to be aggressive here. Maybe you just want to remind them to be careful with the ball, but it should be interesting here. Kind of unsure what to expect on this play. Maybe give them a couple plays if you get a first down, what you're going to run.
Quinton gets it to the outside, has some room, is going to get down inside the 40, down at the 35-yard line. Clock will stop at 23 seconds as they move the chains. Bears now 35 yards away from pay dirt.
And they better hurry. The clock does stop, but I thought Quinton maybe there could have kept going on the outside. I'm not sure if he should have cut this up, but
yeah, the play clock
wasting some time here.
Basically, you're pretty much, this is it. If the way this play is unfolding.
They should have had 2 plays ready to go there. Maybe even spike it. Yeah, they should have had that right away. If we get the first down, spike it right away so you don't waste it about 15 seconds there.
So with 10 seconds left, you have, East Brunswick has one timeout, correct?
I think they took the lad. They just took the one, yeah.
Okay.
So that's why they would have called a timeout there, but.
And these plays have to go downfield and in a hurry. Because even a first down, the clock, unless you come right up to the line and are able to spike it. So no fancy dancing here. It's got to be north and south running.
And you got to know, too, they didn't know last time, if you do get the first down, it's inbounds, you got to get up and
Quinton gets the handoff inside. He'll get up to perhaps the 27-yard line.
I don't get that.
And there's not going to be enough time to spike it. And that's the end of the first half with the score. East Brunswick 7 and Woodbridge 0. We'll be back with the halftime festivities and second half action right after this.
Roll. Drum makers Michael Fine and Katie Hahn. Is the band ready? Band, you may take the field. Ladies and gentlemen, the East Brunswick High School Marching Band.
Our score after one half of play, East Brunswick Bears 7, Woodbridge Barrons 0. I'm Ken Saroka along with Richie Whalen. All the action of tonight's game on EBTV. And we'd like to thank the EBTV technical crew for coming out, surviving a little bit of the clearing out weather here that was in the East Brunswick area. Fortunately, the weather cleared quick enough to get the equipment up here. Scoring just one score at 6:18 of the first quarter, 6:18 remaining in the first quarter. We had a 2-yard touchdown run by Julian Quinton, made possible by a Woodbridge turnover. And the captains are coming to midfield.
Captains for East Brunswick, you see there, number 5, Jared Lynch, number 62, Joe Quagliari, and number 31, Julian Quinton. And East Brunswick is going to get the ball here to start the second half.
Good half of football. Really was. Good game. Let's have a second half the same way. You know, very clean game, hard hitting. Just keep it up that way. All right? You won the toss, therefore it's your choice. Okay, they want to receive. What goal do you want to defend? You're going to defend the scoreboard? All right. Turn around and fix them. You put your backs to the scoreboard. All right, we have East Brunswick. Second half, choice. They will receive away from the scoreboard. Gentlemen, shake hands and good luck.
Well, that was interesting. We were talking about that before we came back on the air, about whether or not, with the wind being such a factor and knocking down that one field goal attempt from only 30 yards, whether or not the team who had the choice would, in this case Woodbridge, take that wind with them in the fourth quarter. But no, they chose to defend the south goal. And you take a look at that, you know, the flag is blowing pretty stiffly at times, from about southeast direction here. And East Brunswick will receive the second half kickoff.
And it should be interesting, you know, what was said in the locker room from both the Woodbridge and East Brunswick side. If I'm Woodbridge, I think I'd mix it up a little bit more and maybe, you know, throw the ball a little bit more. We were talking, Ken, a lot of their throws were on, you know, third down and obvious passing situations. They've been content to run the ball on first and second down. So if I were Woodbridge, I'd maybe take a few more shots down the field. And, you know, East Brunswick basically played a pretty solid first half. They ran the ball. They converted some big third down, a couple fourth down conversions, including the touchdown. And they've been able to maintain possession of the ball. So having to have a chance here to even take up more time here. They get the ball and are hoping to run some clock again.
Number 13, Robert Martinez, will kick off for the Barons. And that kick is in the air and picked up by the Bears. And running right up the middle, and a one-man to beat the kicker. And Martinez hangs in there and brings down Rich Ura with a big return there. Brings it ball, and the Bears with instant field position.
And a lot of times you see kickoff returners kind of dance a little bit, go side to side, east to west. He hit a hole. He went straight up the hole, north and south.
You got to give Martinez credit. He's listed in the program at 5'8". Barely looks that, and he stood his ground.
Right, exactly.
And was in on the tackle. Okay, so the Bears have possession now. Ball will be spotted on the 43-yard line.
And there's some confusion here with Woodbridge. I'm not sure what is going on here.
A little bit of an unusual set here. Oh, this is the Chris Kanye play. Chris Kanye.
Chris Kanye, a little stiff arm there, and he'll go in for the score. Touchdown. Number 65 for East Brunswick.
A great story, the way the school rallied around Chris last year.
And that's the first one I've seen that he had a little stiff arm. He avoided a defender there.
Yeah.
He goes right for the water bottle there.
Nice little 48-yard dash there, 45-yard dash. And we were wondering about whether or not they were going to do that with Chris. But now Mike Sy takes over for the Bears. Ball on the 43-yard line of Woodbridge. 1st and 10. Sy with the keeper gets inside the 40, down to the 38. Ball spotted. They're not even going to give him the 38. They're going to say just inside the 40. So a gain of only about 3. 2nd down and 7.
It's got to be frustrating for Woodbridge here. East Brunswick is just methodically, no real tricks here. They're just lining up. The one thing that Woodbridge is having a little bit of difficulty, and give East Brunswick, especially Mike Sy, credit for, is doing a good job on his reads, who to give the ball to, when to give it up, when to keep it, and keeping Woodbridge off balance. And offensive line is doing a nice job.
Inside handoff, Josh Todd. As I say, might have had a little problem getting his arms out of the way. Going to be close to a 1st down, probably a little bit short. Bring up a 3rd down and call it 1.
And that's what's tough about the option, that when you run that, you try as the quarterback to keep the ball as long as you can until you make your read, and sometimes you might pull it out and there might be a fumble, or you leave it on too long and the ball can go on the ground. So not easy.
Sy kept it and got pushed backwards, and that's going to be a loss of 2 on the play.
Yeah, number 2, Praise Martin Oguke, who's going to Temple, got in the backfield. And this is one of those tweener, and I think he's going to punt the ball. I like this decision. I wouldn't mind if he went for it, but if you can really pin Woodbridge back here, you're in that kind of in-between territory.
Well, but as we mentioned before the first half ended, didn't score in that drive, and now you didn't need to score in this drive, so you give Woodbridge an opportunity to tie the game as opposed to being up perhaps 2 or 3 scores. Punt is away, and it's going to go into the end zone.
And that, now it's tough. It's not easy to do, but you want to try to tell your punter, and I'm sure they did. Right there, you just gained 14, maybe 15 yards there with the ball going in the end zone, coming out in the 20. So, you'd really like to try to get the ball, inside the 15 or 10-yard line, where that's a little bit of a better play when you punt it from the 35. But, Woodbridge still has to go 80 yards here.
Kyle Anderson under center. Number 10, Jeffrey Rodriguez, the lone setback in motion. Isaiah Johnson. Pass on the outside behind Praise Martin Oguike.
And Woodbridge did throw the ball there on 1st down. You got a good hit there. Kyle Anderson got hit by the East Brunswick defense, but it looks, that throw just didn't come out cleanly. It looked like maybe the wind possibly could have affected that a little bit.
2nd and 10. Straight handoff up the middle, and this time Johnson brings it out to almost the 30-yard line. No deception there, no man in motion, just straight up the gut running by the Barons.
Showed a good burst there. Nice tackle by number 31, Julian Quinnen, to hold them to that gain. Going to be just short of the 1st down.
Ball outside the 29, so less than 1 yard to go here.
Yeah, it looks like an audible here by Anderson.
Handoff to Johnson on carry, picks up the first down and a couple more. Got a good head of steam up there, running straight north and south from that deep I-back position. First down, Woodbridge.
It's a big game for both teams too. Just looking at their 2-1 records for playoffs. You know, it's kind of early to say that, but the team that wins this game going 3-1, that's a lot better than 2-2.
Handoff, again running east-west, and East Brunswick's able to snuff that out to Quan Bailey.
Yeah, did a decent job there, strung the play out a little bit, only gained about 3 yards on the play, so.
Gonna mark the ball at the 35. So second down and 8, they only gained 2 yards on that play, second and 8. Anderson drops back, throws over the middle. Has Ogwike, gets through to the secondary, and Rich Ura has to bring him down in the Bears' 47-yard line.
I think he needs to get a couple more touches, Ken. What do you think? He looks pretty explosive when he catches that ball. He had a great catch earlier in the game.
Well, in the first half, we were talking about Nyers and Opoku, who are both, again, 6 foot plus, and now you bring in Ogwike, who's 6'1", and you've got a tall order if you're the secondary. Pass complete on the outside to Nyers.
And Nyers showed his strength there, ran over a couple defenders to pick up a couple more yards.
First down Barons as they move the chains. Ball spotted at the 36-yard line as they're moving right to left on your television screen.
And this is the first time, at least for me, that I really feel like Woodbridge is in a little bit of a rhythm now.
Lone setback, Rodriguez. Anderson back to pass, throws it on the out to Bailey. Bailey gets to the outside, turns the corner, gets inside the 30, and brought down for a gain of 8.
And number 8, John Farkas, did a nice job of coming up there and making a pretty good hit on him. And East Brunswick right now is not getting much pressure on Anderson, so he's having some time to kind of pick apart the secondary for East Brunswick. Fumble.
Ball's on the ground. Who's got it?
I don't know it. East Brunswick should have that, I would think. Okay, looks like Woodbridge number 22 got it. I thought East Brunswick had a couple bodies there.
And the result of the play is a first down, though.
Yep, first down. Woodbridge fortunate there.
And watch Ogwike, who's split to the low side of your screen here. Inside handoff, though. East Brunswick's been good at sniffing that out.
Yeah, they said the ball came out. I didn't see that, though.
It is. Again, it could be that with the field sitting for those 15 or so minutes during halftime that, once again, a little sheen develops on there, and that gets transmitted to the ball, and it gets a little slick. Jake Wojciewicz given credit for coming up with the fumble recovery. And East Brunswick will take over 1st and 10 on their own 25-yard line. 5:45 left to go in the third quarter. Pitch to Quinton. Quinton gets brought down as penetrating and getting good position there. John Alcott No gain.
Well, right now for Woodbridge, 2 turnovers so far have hurt them. The first one in the first half led to East Brunswick's first score and just gave the ball up inside the 30-yard line. So right now, that's the difference in the game.
John Farkas split out to the top of your screen. Dropping back to pass. Mike Tsai has Lynch ahead of the pack. Catches it. Dances, splits a tackle. Heads to the outside. Another tackle. Gets down to the 35-yard line. Jared Lynch got behind the secondary.
And you know what? The way East Brunswick plays, they run the ball so often that you almost get lulled to sleep a little bit. As a defense, I know this too. As a defensive player, you just run, and then they hit you with the quick strike. Good play call there by East Brunswick. Caught Woodbridge off guard.
Full house backfield and a handout to Quinton. Quinton breaks it outside, gets to the outside, gets the first down and more. Knocked out of bounds at the 20. 19-yard line. Gain of 16 on the play.
Yeah, and a saving tackle there by number 23, Cody Zalazar. But nice running by Julian Quinton. Broke a couple tackles. And the thing about Quinton is, you know, he not only does he have some nice power when he runs, but he also has you see the speed there, turn it up on the outside. You can just see it in Woodbridge a little bit, their defense, their body language, hands on their hip. They're a little down on themselves right now.
No, he kept it. Yeah, he did. He's looking. I was watching, and that was a case again where Cy had a hard time getting that ball out and back, but managed to pull it in and take it forward for a minimal gain. A gain of only 1. Second down. And, well, they're giving him 1.5. We'll call it second down and 8. Ball on the 17-yard line. Four minutes to go here in quarter number 3 in this key GMC battle. Pitch to Lynch. Breaks through 1 tackle, cannot break through a second as Daquan Bailey grabs Lynch around the ankles and brings him down just shy of the 10. Actually, they're going to say knee went down a little earlier. Ball's going to be spotted on the 13.
East Brunswick doesn't make it here. You have the wind at your back a little bit for the field goal attempt if they don't make it. So it's a little more of a reasonable attempt. If East Brunswick does not make it here, you might see the field goal unit.
Calling signals at the line. Fullback Josh Todd gets down to the goal line.
A little short, I think.
A little short. They're going to mark him a little short. He was celebrating, but nope. Gets 12 of the 13 necessary yards. Actually, they're going to mark it down within the 1-yard line. So it'll bring up a 1st and goal for the Bears. And that's kind of annoying. If you make that big play and you get down at the half-yard line, they give it to someone else and it goes in. It's one of those things that happens all the time.
Yeah. See that every Sunday with the NFL, with people with the fantasy football. Your guy gets a long run, but then they give it to someone else.
Full house backfield behind Cy. A handoff to Lynch. Lynch is stopped. Nope.
They're saying he's down, just probably about as close as he can get to the goal line.
No gain. Ball still just outside. And what you don't have here, unfortunately, Mike Cy is not the biggest of quarterbacks for that quarterback sneak over the guards, but
still might be the play here. And you get your running backs behind him and kind of run into him. He's short.
Yeah, and Todd again bounced back. That initial hit turned Todd sideways. Didn't use any of the momentum he had going forward. And again, no gain. Well, you have the wide side to the right.
You do. You could fake the dive and have a little option with Cy and maybe Quinnan or Lynch here. You have some options.
And no, they're going to say his knee was down before that little lunge at the end.
Yeah, I guess the only good thing if East Brunswick does score here is they basically took all the time of the third quarter here. But this could be the turning point. This right now is the play of the game. And it looks the way just Coach Borden is, he's going to take a timeout.
Well, I mean, I don't see any tactical advantage here because if you take the timeout, you will have fourth down.
Right.
With the wind, but
guess he may. The only thing, he just maybe needs more time to think about what he wants to do. And you see, take a look here on the screen of Coach Borden. Been around a long time for the Bears.
2 state championships in the last 6 years. This game will be rebroadcast on EBTV twice on October 10th at 4 p.m. and on October 13th at 9 p.m. It's also available on the web, so if you missed this game on EBTV, you can now access it wherever you want on the internet. Just go to the EBTV website, which is www.ebtv3.org. That's EBTV, the number 3.org. And click on Video on Demand, and then click on EBH Sports and select the games that you want to watch. We'll be broadcasting again on Friday, November 5th against South Brunswick here from J. Doyle Field.
And you don't want to say this is a game. There's plenty of time left, but this will be a big play for either team. Oh, no.
And that's exactly what you didn't want to have happen. Get it to the fourth down and then a fumble, and although it was recovered by Cy, you're off the goal line.
I'm not even sure what that play was, because it kind of looked like there was confusion, believe it or not. Cy kind of turned around and no one was there, so.
They have an injury on the field.
Looks like cramps the way he's pulling his feet back. Well, big stop there by Woodbridge.
And, you know, you have to question maybe some of the play calling because it seemed very repetitive. No attempt to run around the end, no attempt for misdirection. Just,
and,
you know.
And you know what? Not that I would do this. I'd be more of an aggressive. But you also think, you know what? A field goal there, not that it's definite, but at least it puts you up 2 scores where you're up 10-0. So that has to go through your head as well. But I agree, maybe just try something different, you know, because Woodbridge was just stacking everyone right in the middle there.
You had 4 chances within the 1. 4 chances.
Probably from about the
half-foot line, yeah. So circle that play on your calendar here, or circle that play on the program, because if that turns out to be a situation where Woodbridge can turn it around and drive the ball now to 94, 95 yards for a score. But there is an injury on the field.
And we had said this earlier in the broadcast, but just want to mention some East Brunswick Players of the Month for their respective sports. Shania Guadalupe was the cheerleader of the month for East Brunswick. Boys cross country, Sam Frost. Girls cross country, Bianca Neofoman. Field hockey, Jessica Ferdinand. Jared Lynch is for football. Gymnastics, Nicole Rosano. Boys soccer, Brandon Yu. Christina Estremera for girls soccer. Girls tennis, Marina Sai. And girls volleyball, Catherine Caruso. So looks like we got Woodbridge player off the field.
That was Daquan Bailey, number 24, who plays on both sides of the ball, who was injured on the play. He's on the sidelines, all right, walking on the power, probably just a little bit of cramping. Anderson sets up deep, throws down the sideline, and overthrows the intended receiver, Anthony Nyers. But it's not a bad call down there to try to loosen up the East Brunswick defense a little bit with a fly pattern down the sideline.
I want to also mention the nice job that the East Brunswick cheerleaders are doing under the direction of Lori Miraglia.
2nd and 10, ball on the 4-yard line. Inside handoff to that's Johnson. Yeah, Isaiah Johnson. Bailey's not in there. Gets almost all of the 10 yards needed.
Tough running there by him. Couple East Brunswick tacklers were on their back there.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Score remains East Brunswick Bears 7, the Woodbridge Barrons 0. And we'd like to thank the EBTV technical crew for coming out. They broadcast a lot of sports, not just football, but they do gymnastics and wrestling and basketball and volleyball and lacrosse. Tried to talk him into doing baseball in our new baseball field, but there just doesn't seem to be the facilities there to set up good camera mounts and get the right angles.
Yeah, it's a tough sport to do. And got a nice view of the cheerleaders here. I'm sure they're happy that the rain stopped.
Well, the rain's been playing havoc with the sports schedule the last couple of days. And even on Wednesday, they canceled a lot of the practices because of that tornado watch.
Yeah.
That was coming through the area. Very bizarre weather, but that's October for you. I can remember 2 years ago, it was October 28th or 29th, and we had 3 inches of snow.
Yeah.
And it melted by evening, but still just kind of weird weather. You get tropical humidity and rain and snow in the same month. 3rd down and 1, as now Woodbridge operating left to right on your screen. The handoff goes to Johnson, who's going to try to break it outside. Gets 1st down yardage and more as he gets close to the 30-yard line.
Showed a good burst there to get it to the outside.
Well, it's one of the few times that East Brunswick hasn't been able to penetrate the line and stop that play before the running back's been able to turn that corner.
Yeah, they've been able, for the most part, like you said, to string the play out and not let that happen.
Ball's on the 25-yard line. Barons will have possession there, 1st and 10. Nyers and Poku are split to the near side of your television screen. Dropping back is Anderson looking downfield. That pass and getting hit as soon as he was releasing the ball. Well, it's Anderson, and that ball falls way short for the Bears. Number 62, Joe Quaglieri, got in there and disrupted that pass.
Anderson was lucky to get away with that one.
Second and 10. Flankers split to either side. Bears showing blitz. Stop. Nyers. And good wrap-up tackling there by Rich Ura. And the reason why is Nyers was stretching for that 1st down marker at the 35 and was pushed back to the 34, where it will be 3rd down and 1.
And that was good pursuit by the East Brunswick defense.
Johnson Rodriguez in the backfield. The handoff to Johnson, who's going to get to the 1st down marker, get across the 35, and is brought down at the 38-yard line. First down for Woodbridge.
Number 69 for East Brunswick had good penetration there, Milton Colehep, but just kind of running back squirted by there, and Woodbridge able a couple times now to convert some third and shorts to keep the drive alive.
Nyers and Opoku line up in the short side. Drop back. Anderson looking downfield, and that was way overthrown. I think perhaps Anderson was thinking that Opoku was going to run just a straight fly route, and he broke it into the post. The ball goes sailing over his head by 5 yards.
Yeah, and Anderson a couple of his deeper throws, he's throwing the ball a little bit more on a line where, if anything, I think he needs to get a little bit more air under the ball. But you have to give credit to number 8, John Farkas there, who, one thing, especially in high school, I see a lot is that the D-backs don't get enough depth. They don't get deep enough, and Farkas definitely did a good job of being deep enough so the ball can't go over his head.
Spread out offense here, one back set behind. Quick flanker screen. We got a flag on the play. That's probably either a motion penalty or some kind of procedure call. We'll see what the referee's call is.
You're right.
Captain, take him back. All right, take him back from the previous spot. All right, we have an illegal shift on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
That could be the man in motion didn't set properly, and they had 2 people going in motion. That now makes it second down and 15. Inside handoff, and that went nowhere. I guess they were trying to catch East Brunswick off guard, thinking that they were going to go downfield with the passing game. No gain, maybe a loss of a yard. Ball spotted at the 33. They have to get to the 49, their own 49, so it now brings up a third down and 16.
And you got to give East Brunswick, especially that middle, that interior defense, some credit, because Woodbridge really inside has not been able to run the ball at all. Joe Quagliari there, number 72. Number 78 also for East Brunswick. Sean Garrett doing a nice job.
Straight drop. Looking over the middle. And Ogwike had some space there. Praise Martin Ogwike had some space, but overthrown. So it brings up a fourth down and 16. And this will be the second punt of the game for Woodbridge. The first traveled over Jared Lynch's head. Now three dropping back 3 here. Donald Rochelle, Lynch are the deep backs, and Rich Ura is in the middle. Punt end over end, drives Lynch back. Ball bounces nicely up to him, and he'll return. Gets out to the 32-yard line. That ball takes a different bounce. That ball doesn't pop straight back up to Lynch. It rolls down to the 5 or 10-yard line. But instead, the Bears will take it at the 32 and will operate first and 10 from there. 9:12 left to go, fourth quarter. You're watching East Brunswick High School Athletics on EBTV. I'm Ken Saroka along with Rich Whalen. Football against Woodbridge.
And we have a hold on the play.
All right, after the kick, we have holding on number 20. First down, East Brunswick.
Just what we were saying about the good field position. I did not see the flag on the play, but that's what often happens.
And I think that's only the second penalty that I can remember on East Brunswick tonight. They had another hold during a run that they got called for. So pretty error-free game for East Brunswick so far.
Inside handoff to Todd takes it out to the 24-yard line. Unlike the New York Giants with their, 6 personal fouls.
That was tough to watch. I'm not a Giant fan, thank goodness. Not that my Redskins are much better, but...
Or what about the Green Bay Packers with their 17 penalties in a game? Well,
that's got to drive you crazy. And now, I mean, there's still almost 9 minutes left in the game, but the way East Brunswick runs the ball and holds on to the ball, you start looking a little bit as a Woodbridge supporter and a Woodbridge coach at this clock.
Sai will keep it himself, breaks it into the secondary, gets the first down and more. Dropped at the 35-yard line. Tough tackle there. And that was Daquan Bailey, who is back after being injured on that defensive stop.
And I've seen Mike Sai kind of a lot this game kind of hold his ribs a little bit. He might have some sore ribs, and like you had said before, he's not a big guy. They have him listed at 5'9", 161, and that might be even stretching it a little bit. But he's tough, and he's doing a good job too on that run, holding on to the ball with 2 hands. Ball security is very important for East Brunswick here.
Single setback behind Sai. Todd gets the handoff and gets 2 yards. Woodbridge kind of in a run blitz there, trying to fill the gaps. Now, what you need, obviously, for East Brunswick, you'd like to score something here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd like to. I mean, at the very least, you'd like to take time off the clock, which they're doing. Get a couple first downs, and at the very least, obviously, any type of score puts them up 2 scores, but, you want to have Woodbridge, if they do get the ball back, have to go the length, as much of the length of the field as they can.
Sai holds it, and he's going to get tackled, but the generousness here, forward progress, will be marked down at the 36. Almost a hold there on that left side of the offensive line. Fortunately, did not connect with that block.
Yeah, and Mike Sai there has to try to turn the ball up. He's not going to beat too many guys going wide there, and give Woodbridge credit, made a nice tackle. So be interesting to see here what East Brunswick runs. A 3rd and long. See how conservative they get here.
Well, Lynch is on the outside of those tandem over there in the slot. Instead, that's an inside handoff. And those 3 plays netted a grand total of 2 yards. And East Brunswick will be forced to punt. I would have thought that would have been a chance to kind of spring Lynch around the right side, let him find some open space and get that, because you're not going to get 9 yards that often on the inside handoffs.
This is a big punt here by East Brunswick. See if they can push Woodbridge back a little bit. He's real close to the deep man.
And the punt is blocked at the line. Woodbridge had 3 people penetrate and block the punt.
And then they need to relax on the pile. It's going to be their ball no matter what. Number 15 for Woodbridge recovered it, Romeo Akanse. And there was a few Barons that were there. I'm not sure if it maybe was number 2, Praise Martin Uguke, who actually got his hand on the ball, but there was a couple guys that penetrated. That was a poor job. You
gotta watch this ball going deep. Nope, handoff to Johnson on the outside. Again, good defense to string it out long enough for Pursuit to catch up.
Number 78, Sean Garrett, with good penetration, just wasn't able to corral the Woodbridge ball carrier.
2nd down and 5. Opoku is split out to the short side here, or to the bottom of your screen, looking all the way. Anderson has him lined up, but it's overthrown. Anderson didn't even bother to look at another receiver. He just had that one lined up and overthrew it.
Good coverage there by number 8, John Farkas. And so far, the East Brunswick defense is doing its job. First real big mistake by East Brunswick with that blocked punt, getting their punter getting the kick blocked.
Third down and long 5. Johnson and Rodriguez in the backfield, rolling the pocket out, throwing back right, and that pass incomplete, not even close. And again, if you're Woodbridge, you're 5 minutes left. You're not going to gain much from a punt here.
No, you have to go for it here. Number 18, Jake Wojciewicz, good job on the coverage. Woodbridge tried to get East Brunswick's defense going one way and throw the screen back the other way, but number 18 was right there.
4th and a long 5, single setback behind Anderson. He'll drop back, throws. The ball was tipped at the line and incomplete in the tenet for Opoku. Somebody got a hand on that. That ball did not come out clean, and East Brunswick will take over on downs.
Good job getting your hands up. That was going to be close where that ball was thrown. It was right by the marker. East Brunswick's D-backs gave a little space. That was going to be real close if he did catch that ball, if it was going to be a first down or not. You got to give East Brunswick credit there. They get their special teams gets a punt block there, but they're able to weather the storm and get the ball back.
And if you're East Brunswick right now, 1, control the ball and don't put it on the ground.
Exactly.
2nd, run the clock. It's not necessary to score here, but it's necessary to grind out those first downs. And once again, an inside handoff to Todd, picks up 3, brings it out over the 30-yard line to the 32. They call it a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
Here's where, little things are important here. Mike Sy wants to make sure they give a signal, the referees here, that he doesn't want to snap the ball until the very last second. I believe they give him a warning, I think with maybe 10 seconds and 5 seconds. So he wants to take every second that he can off the clock here. And you see, we can't see him now, but they will give him the countdown.
Todd again up the middle, gets another 4 yards or close to 4 yards. So be a 3rd down and 2. Big 3rd down here, because you're guaranteed if you can get this first down, you'll force Woodbridge to start burning timeouts, and you'll put the clock probably under 3 minutes by the time that happens.
And East Brunswick lately exclusively has just really been trying to batter that middle. If I'm Woodbridge, I really send some people here.
Single setback behind.
And they do.
Yep. And Sy could not pull it out in time. And what was a 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 1.5 now becomes a 4th and 4. And after what we just saw with the last punt, it might not be a bad idea here to go for it. But no, we're going to send in the punt team. Very conservative play calling. And you got to be, if you're the punter here, Milton Colhut, you've got to be a little bit shell-shocked for what just happened. Now you got 3 guys standing back. Woodbridge does not come after. Colhut gets a decent punt off. Harrison picks it up.
Got some room. Ooh. I think he's down.
He's down.
That's
that
the right
came
call.
out. That's a good call. It was down contact, 48-yard line. And again, the Bears are going to have to play defense here with 3 minutes left to preserve this 7-0 lead. Woodbridge has their full complement of timeouts left.
And I missed the number there on East Brunswick. We want to give that player credit. Just was able to get him by the feet to take him down. That could have been all the way to the end zone if not for that tackle.
Okay, Opoku and Nyers are split out to the bottom of your television screen. Pump fake.
Oh, had him.
Had his hands, and Farkas kind of jumped and bit on that one a little early. Was not in a good position to defend, and it hit Opoku's hand, but he could not corral it. Anderson's not doing a very good job looking off his receivers. So the DBs should know that if he's fixed on it, he's going to throw it. Johnson and Rodriguez behind Anderson. The handoff is going to go to Johnson, who gets maybe 3 yards. 4, perhaps. Ball's inside the 45. We marked at the 43. Be 3rd and 6. And time now a factor as we're under 3 minutes to go. Trips to the right side here, to the short side of the screen. A little bit of confusion. That looked like it could have gone either way, to Nyers or Opoku.
Yeah, usually something goes wrong when that happens, when you have 2 receivers that close in a pattern. So,
well, 4th down, and once again, this is the 3rd opportunity for the Bears to stop Woodbridge on a 4th down, with 2:31 remaining in this 4th quarter. And we'll have a timeout, Woodbridge. Our next EBTV broadcast of other football games is going to be on Friday, November 5th against South Brunswick as the Vikings come to Jade Oil Field. This game will be rebroadcast on October 10th at 4 p.m. and on October 13th at 9 p.m. And again, we thank EBTV for their generous support here in broadcasting these games. And if you watch on Sunday evenings, they put one of those retro games.
Yes.
You know, games from the past, big contests in all sports. In the last 20-some years, I guess, of doing those games here on EBT. 25 years. I think I saw 1986 one game.
Okay.
And Frank Knoppenberger, the athletic director, was coaching the boys' basketball team. So that goes back a ways. Saw Heather O'Reilly in a basketball game, playing basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's unusual you see that some of these athletes. Josh Miller probably was in that basketball game too. 4th down and 6 for the Barons from the 43-yard line.
They got at least one more down here, this East Brunswick defense, but you have to give them a ton of credit, and also the coaching staff for having this Bears team ready against Woodbridge, holding them so far with no points. Need to do it at least one more time, though.
3 wide receivers to the long side of the field, rolling the pocket. Anderson fires and has Nyers. And that pass led Nyers perfectly. He caught it and had an opportunity to turn it upfield.
And that's just tough. I mean, you know, as a D-back, that's a lot of time that you have to cover someone. I saw number 18, Jake Wojciech, looked like he had a chance at the quarterback, but one of the Woodbridge players threw a nice block to give Anderson a little more time.
Drops back, throws the fade, and that's way out of bounds.
And that hasn't been too successful for them, that fade. They've thrown it a few times, and East Brunswick's D-backs have been doing a nice job, and they might want to think about something else, maybe a post or a slant.
Well, Anderson seems, as a right-handed thrower, he seems to be more comfortable moving or throwing to his right, and that pass on the sideline here was an indication. He wasn't throwing across his body. And that long pass all the way over, trying to lob it in. Very difficult pass for a high school quarterback to do with any accuracy. So they split. Opoku is to the short side. Nyers is all the way out. Quick screen. Hit and dropped. And yeah, no, incomplete. I mean, Quentin had him wrapped up, didn't know he had the ball.
Right, that's a tough call because he's just going to make the tackle. He doesn't see the ball.
3rd and 10.
A nice job. I don't know if that was a call by East Brunswick, but right before that play was called, Quinton kind of shuffled out to the flat there, and it looked like it was open right before the snap, but he was able to go up and make the tackle.
I would think right now you have to be thinking East Brunswick that they're going to pass it on every down, but you've got Johnson in the backfield. He's been good at getting away from traffic, and you might see an attempt at a quick pitch or quick hitter inside. And I called it. I just had that feeling that Johnson lining up in the backfield there, that he's going to get a chance to just kind of bust it up the middle and see if he can make it, instead of a 4th and 10 from a potential incomplete pass, to now you got a 4th and 6.
Right, and I like that. And if I was going to do that also, Woodbridge kind of had a tight end in there. They had a fullback in front. I would even spread them out more, where you get a couple more defenders out where you give them that. I like that type of draw play where you really spread the defense with as many receivers out and without a fullback. But, this, like you said, this is a little more manageable now.
1 minute, 59 seconds left, but essentially this is it right here.
Right, Woodbridge only has one timeout left after taking this timeout, and there's under 2 minutes left, so.
Johnson and Rodriguez behind Anderson. And Coach Marcus Borden, seeing this formation, is going to call a timeout as both Nyers and Opoku were split out to the top. That would probably be the potent combination to see those two together, and then one splitting across the middle and one running down the sideline.
Yeah, and depending on how East Brunswick's playing it, man-to-man, or if they're in some type of zone with safety help, a lot of times people like running that little, although you can't pick a player in football, that little pick route where you have one go outside and then have the other guy from the outside kind of come in right off his back, where you cause some confusion, especially if they're playing man-to-man. So, Coach Borden probably took that timeout. Just he saw the formation, maybe seeing, who knows if Woodbridge Coach Russo is going to change up what his call is, but it's kind of both teams want to make sure that they have the right call both offensively and defensively here. So.
Fourth down and 6. Woodbridge needs to get to the 18-yard line for a first down.
And I watched number 2 here, the tight end.
No, he's in the block.
Yeah.
Throwing the fade route. Had excellent defense on that pass. That one was close. Donald Urshel got a hand on it, knocked it away. And again, the size mismatch there definitely favored the Woodbridge Barons, but
and that, you want to make the right call as Woodbridge on those fourth down plays. Both fourth down plays they called a timeout, but the one thing that does happen, if you get in this situation now, you're only left with one timeout, and I believe with only that one timeout, as long as East Brunswick holds on to the ball, this should be it.
A minute 53 on the clock. Lynch gains a few yards and is stopped. Woodbridge not expending their last timeout.
Again, East Brunswick's going to make sure to take every second they can here before they snap the ball. They've still got some time.
Again, not to try to do too much. Don't need to gain any positive yards. Just don't run out of bounds and don't drop the ball onto the turf. I'm wondering if Woodbridge do they spend all their timeouts?
They have one left.
Well, I thought so too, but I'm surprised the coach here is not stopping it. Maybe he'll stop it here after the third down play and force a punt.
Right, and there should be somewhere around 30, maybe 25 seconds left after this play is run.
Shorter clock times here in high school football than it is the 40-second clock for pros. Quinton dragged down, and now calling a timeout. Well, here's the nervousness. You're going to send the punt team out. You have to get.
Yeah, well, you know, you could take a. You could. You know, you would. The thing is, to punt the ball, you are a little nervous because of that. You're kind of far away from the end zone to maybe have one of your better athletes, Lynch or someone, get the punt. You know, it's dangerous. Run back and take a safety. I've seen people do that.
I remember the 2004 championship game played at Rutgers. The very same situation, but much closer to our own, backed up to our own goal. And Mariano just ran it around and took the safety, and the free kick, Rafe Denise boomed.
Right. Yeah.
70 yards on the free kick.
That's an option. I mean,
and if as long as you don't, you know, lose the ball, just run around in the back there and chew up as much time as possible. And as long as you get decent protection and,
right.
and honestly, and hold. What difference is it?
Yeah.
You hold them, and as long as you're not holding in the end zone, which is an automatic safety,
exactly,
you're going to take the safety anyway. You just hold it and grab everybody and tear them down. And
it's definitely a thought. It's a thought. It's something that, you know, crosses your mind. So we'll see what happens here. Let's see who they have back here, East Brunswick.
No, they're going to send out the punt team. The punt team's coming out here. And Harrison's standing at midfield. Clock will start at the snap of the ball.
Oh, man. Geez, that's out at about the 40.
So only a gain of about 7 yards of field position. But with 21 seconds and no timeouts, you figure 1-2 pass plays, if they're inbounds, you got to get at least the first down to stop the clock, ground the ball.
Yeah, you got to make sure here, as the coach and the players here, you want to, all your passes need to be past the first down marker if they're going to be inbounds, and then you have to get right up to the line and either be ready to go or spike the ball. Confusion here a little bit.
Daquan Bailey is in the backfield. Anderson changing the play at the fly.
Could this be a delay game?
Legal procedure on the quarterback. I guess he pulled up and.
Okay.
I don't know what the rule is. Maybe he had his hands under center and can't pull away. I don't know. I didn't see that, but it is a 5-yard penalty. No runoff of clock. And he's brought down. Anderson brought down. Quaglieri on the sack. Woodbridge running to get back into position here to spike the ball or to attempt a play.
We'll have one more play here.
And with 2 seconds, so one play remaining. Big defensive play by Quaglieri to sack Anderson.
Yeah, huge play.
And now you've got to guard against the Hail Mary pass.
Exactly.
The long throw down the sideline. So if you're East Brunswick, do you rush 3? Do you rush?
No, I'd rush 4 or 5. I mean, a lot of people believe in just rushing 3 and have everyone else back, but I don't like giving the quarterback too much time. Also, you got to watch for some type of play where they throw it shorter and they pitch the ball. And East Brunswick is going to send some people here.
And the D-backs are right up on the receivers here. Throw downfield, Lynch, and it goes out of bounds. And East Brunswick holds on to win 7-0. 2 straight shutouts for the East Brunswick defense. A little bit of nervousness, but as it could have gone either way. The last 4 minutes seemed the ebb and flow seemed to go back and forth. The only touchdown, the only scoring today in the first quarter with 6:18 left. Quinton scored from a 2-yard run, and that was it. East Brunswick defense coming up big on fourth downs, stopping Woodbridge 3 times, surviving a block punt. And, got to give credit to the defense here. Offense moved the ball, had a field goal that was knocked down by the wind, which was pretty strong here in the first half. A little calmed down now. But our final score, East Brunswick 7, Woodbridge 0. The Bears move to 3-1 going into next week's game against.
Right, they have 1 week. Next week off, they have a bye against Howell the following week.
And then returning to GMC action against Piscataway and Sayreville, Piscataway, South Brunswick, and then Old Bridge. So quite an interesting lineup of opponents for the Bears. I'd like to again thank the EBTV technical crew for all their help today. For Richie Whalen, I'm Ken Saroka saying good night from Jade Oil Field. Again, final score, East Brunswick 7, Woodbridge 0.